All right, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. So, version 1.2 of Predecessor has released. And you see here, Yin is being released. She's one of the original characters from Paragon, which was what Predecessor was before it became Predecessor. But I'm going to kind of skip through a lot of this because I went over a lot of this in the dev stream review, but there's still a lot of other stuff that I want to go over, like Yin being released, uh, the Jade Serpent. And I'll play this video here. It's kind of loud.
I've been waiting for this. Excuse me. I need to train.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. I wish they'd do that for all the characters when they release. Maybe they have actually. I've only been paying attention to the patch notes last few, but I don't know. That's pretty epic. I don't know if I'll play her yet. We'll see. But here's her stats that she's gonna have: abilities, Rising Storm. Yin's basic attacks against heroes and monsters grant her a stack Rising Storm. And I'm not gonna read all of this because this patch is huge. You see over here, these are all the little points. So I'm not gonna read every little thing because we'll be here forever. But there's her abilities: basic attack, primary, windburn, backlash, quelling gale. Yeah, they just if you want to see what they are, they're right there. Her ultimate, Yin. I'll read her ultimate. Yin summons a gale winds at her location for 5 seconds, granting Yin 10% bonus movement speed. Additionally, enemies in the area are slowed for 25%. Enemy projectiles that travel through the gale winds are halted and can be reflected with backlash, which that's what this is right here. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I haven't played her yet or played any games yet in this update, so I will be live streaming later tonight. Actually, I was gonna say 3 hours from now, but it'll be 7:30 Mountain Standard Time. I will be streaming this. But going down, store news. They got some skins coming in. It's pretty cool. I mean, we don't really know her yet, so Chimera. It looks like a kind of mixed Drongo and Chimera, which is a little interesting. Gave him Drongo's mask. Cool. Grim EXE. Okay. Weird looking Kalari. Kind of looked like hair for a minute. I don't know. I mean, it's not bad. Kind of like Wasteland. They're kind of going for like a Mad Max theme type thing. Twin Blast. New bundles. Wind Gauntlet Yin bundle. You can look at them here. Wasteland bundle. These are just kind of skins and emotes. They're adding emotes to the game. They mentioned that in the dev stream. Communication improvements. They're gonna have overhead emotes. So like when you have a little vibe check with people, they'll pop up. I don't know why Sevrog would just be sitting there with Countess's face above him, but I'll take it. I was thinking like they should have actual emotes, but I think actually it'd start getting a little goofy and Fortnite-ish, so maybe not. They added stuff to the communication wheel.
Stand and fight. Out of mana. Never surrender.
Uh-huh. Those last two are interesting, but that first one, like, if you're in the middle of a fight and you stop to do this,
Stand.
then you're gonna be not hitting for that 2 seconds that's happening, which can be really big. So I don't know. I probably won't use that one, but having no mana, that actually could be really big because I always want to tell people. I think I actually said it on stream last week. I was like, I'm out of mana. I wish I could communicate this to my team because they want to push when I'm like, I was playing Moragesh and but when you don't have any mana as Moragesh, you might as well just be nothing because her basic attack is pretty useless. But ranked improvements, we kind of went over this with the dev stream. They're going to be making it so you don't lose points if you have a person on your team that's toxic. Um, they removed the promotional games. Players with over 100 VP will now be automatically promoted. You used to have to, when you had enough VP to promote, you had to win a game to promote, and they got rid of that. At least that's how I read it. I didn't ever actually play ranked more than a couple games, but that's what it sounds like from reading it. Going down here, oh, they've added these gateways, so you'll be able to teleport from one side of the map to the other side. And I don't know, I'm kind of worried that this might get really bad, but I'm gonna play a couple games. We're gonna stream tonight. We're gonna see how we feel about it. I feel like it'd be either really good change or not a good change at all. So like the off lane can rotate over and help the duo lane, or vice versa. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty interesting. We'll see how that goes. Um, yeah, and it won't start up until 10 minutes into the game. There's a cooldown. There's the travel time. So yeah, and it takes 2.5 seconds to charge up, so you can get away, but you still have to be like 2.5 seconds ahead of the person you're getting chased by. And I don't know what's gonna happen if you and an enemy are fighting on it. If it's just gonna teleport you both, or the first person on there, I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, if an enemy stands on top of the arc shot gateway while you're also on the arc shot gateway, it'll be contested. Pausing. Okay, so that answers that question. If there's an enemy and you on it, it'll just pause the thing. Or prime changes. So pretty much all they're doing is, this wall used to be really high and they're getting rid of that. And they also lowered these little walls here so that people can get in and out easier with their abilities and escapes. I mean, that wasn't really anything I ever complained about, but apparently somebody somewhere did complain about that. So they fixed that. And the toxicity improvements, I'm going to kind of skip through this a little bit for time's sake. I do have a video going over all of the toxicity improvements if you want to go look for it. It is on my channel, pretty recent. But essentially, all the stuff that everyone's been complaining about, where people leave the game and they don't get any real punishment, that will be fixed. And they'll also tell you when they punish someone. Actually, this might be an example of it right here. During your match, an player was detected and action was taken against them. So they will tell you if they punish someone that you report. And if someone is AFK in the game and they get kicked from the game and they leave, right here, match ending, a player has disconnected, game is ending. So it won't even make you have to surrender or anything like that. It'll just end the game and you don't have to do a 4v5, which is kind of like mixed feelings, because like last week I did have a game where I won with a 4v5, and I did upload that clip online as well, on my channel if you want to go see that. So it is possible to win a 4v5. So I mean, that can be annoying if you're doing really good. But I mean, overall, that's kind of a good thing, because I don't know why, but people will not surrender. Even if somebody on your team is left and you're just getting your butt handed to you and all your inhibitors are down and you're just hanging on by a thread, they still won't surrender. And it can be really toxic. So I'm glad they kind of, I don't know, I got mixed feelings about that. We'll see. I wish they gave you the option to end the game. But player report feedback. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Thank you for keeping it healthy. But yeah, there's a lot with the toxicity. They're adding a ton with that. So if you want to know more about that, go find my other video about that. Menu improvements, UI changes. That's pretty straightforward. I mean, I never had a problem with the UI. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't look that different. It's just kind of the background's changed. That's the only noticeable thing I can see right off the bat. Oops. Match history. You can now view recent match history in the new matches tab. Well, used to be able to do that anyways, but I guess they made it a lot better. And I know like this was really bad, because I tried to go find some clips from like past matches, and I had to keep like refreshing the page because it was just so glitchy. So I hope they fix that. The watch tab, that's always been there. Watch tab has been merged into the new matches tab. Okay, so they're just kind of moving some things on. Oh, this is still with the menu improvements. Oh, actually, I was gonna actually. Oh man, I was making a video about things I want to see, and I wanted a leaderboard ranking in the game, and it looks like they added that. So I will have to remove that from that video. I have a little list of stuff I want to add in that video, but that is a good thing. I like because you used to have to go to like a third party site to find this, the leaderboard rankings and stuff. So I'm glad they're adding it here. Draft purchasing. Okay. Forgotten to pick up a new hero, newly released hero or skin before heading into a draft. No problem. Okay. I mean that's fine. So you can buy the skin. So you can buy skins from them while you're just waiting for everyone to select their heroes. I mean that's fine. Most games are already like that. I remember uh Paladins was like that. Going down here, match found audio. Okay, I mean that's pretty straightforward. One thing I would wish they would add actually is when you're tabbed out, I wish it would tell you because like I know I keep bringing up Paladins, but Paladins does that to be like where I'll start searching for a game and I can go do something else, like start working on like a thumbnail or something for a video, and it'll like pop up and it'll say, by the way, match found, but it doesn't do that for predecessors. So it'd be kind of cool if it did that. Okay, this is another thing that was in the dev stream. They added projectile speed. So the bullet travels faster, essentially. So when they fire, it takes less time for the bullet to get from you to the enemy. It's gonna throw some people off right at the beginning, I think, but I think that's overall good. It might, we'll have to see. I'm predicting it might make carries broken again, but we'll see. Because I think they're gonna have to lower the damage a little bit to compensate for that. Now they fire faster, pretty much. Not necessarily faster, but yeah, you know what I mean. Buff transfers. This was another thing that was in the dev stream. If someone has red buff or a river buff and you kill them, it transfers the buff to you, so you can get that buff. So if someone comes and snipes red buff while you're the jungle, what you can do is kill them, and it'll give you the buff back to yourself. Because I know a lot of times that happens, so that'll be interesting to see. I don't know if it resets the timer or anything, or if it just gives you the remaining duration it had on it. Let's see. I don't see anything about it here. Yeah, I think it just slightly reduce. Okay, these transfer buffs function the same as if you had acquired them normally, but last for a slightly reduced duration. Okay, so it does reset it, but it's not as long as if you were just to grab it yourself. Sanctuary red and blue buffs will now transfer to. Okay, yeah, that's what we talked about. Brawl. Okay, here's another thing. Orb Prime. If you kill the Orb Prime and you have that buff going, you could return back to base a lot faster, which I think is a good change because sometimes when you kill Orb Prime, you do have to return to base to heal, and you're losing that time. You're losing the time with your Orb Prime to push a lane. So I'm glad that they're reducing that. It goes from 8 to 4 seconds. Okay, you can't even see that. I right click and it brings up the right click menu. So, but I don't know why I even said that. But anyways, river buffs enhance. So, trying to think. Okay, when the 20-minute marker hits, river buffs become a lot stronger. They had a little video on it on the dev stream, and it's pretty much the strength of like green buff or gold buff, where it actually fights back a little bit, and you can't just go buy it and just do a drive by one hit and then keep going. So they're getting rid of that. But with that, the river buffs, when it hits the 21-minute mark, those buffs get stronger as well. And so, like the attack speed will add Omnivamp as well, and the shield will have the shield. But when the shield ends, it'll blow up and do damage to the person that's damaging you, and so on. But it'll be interesting. That's going to be another one I'm going to have to play a few games to see if I like it. But we'll see. This is a cool one. They're adding additional hero voice lines. So pretty much the heroes they used to just kind of say when their ultimate was ready and just kind of basic stuff, and they're adding some more to that. Oh, okay, wait. I thought this was gonna be a voice line. I skipped down, sorry. So the new tower danger visual effect. Um, I mean that sounded pretty normal. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't sound too much different to me. Anyways, hero freedom and brawl mode. So essentially they're making it so you could select 5 of each hero. They did say in the stream though that it can get glitchy when like all 10 like Iggy and Scorch is what the one that they brought up. But they said that it can get really glitchy when they all ult at the same time, so we'll see how that goes. PlayStation improvements. Okay. If you want to see those, they're right there. That doesn't really impact me very much, but they're adding trophies, 120 FPS mode, and mouse and keyboard support. Interesting. New level rewards. We've added level up rewards up to level 20. Already level 20 higher will be retroactively adding these to accounts in a later patch. Yeah, that's cool. Other news, winter map. It's kind of what it looks like. Rather than the Halloween spooky theme, it's going to be cold and snowy. It'd be interesting to see if around Christmas time they add like presents and stuff around. We'll see. Twitch drops. Okay. And I will be live streaming on Twitch as well. So if you want to go catch some of these rewards, essentially while you're watching streamers, it'll give you rewards. So hop into there and go watch there if you want to get some of these rewards. I mean, it just looks like just Countess stuff. Blueberry Punk Countess. Interesting. Gameplay balance changes. Ranged basic attack projectiles. Okay, we've already talked about that. Fangtooth and Orb Prime Pit Terrain. Okay, this is all just stuff we've already talked about. Enhanced river buffs. Okay. Okay, here's some changes. Blue buff, red buff, health decreased. Health decrease. Will not transfer upon death. That's fine. Fangtooth matches are determined too strongly by a team's ability to secure jungle objectives. Given they both provide significant buff effects already, both Fangtooth and Mini Orb are receiving a cut to the gold they offer to the entire team, slightly diminishing it. So okay, so it goes from 120 to 100 gold that they give. Mini Orb 200 to 150. And they're adding the Mini Orb return speed that they add to the normal Orb Prime. They've nerfed Orb Prime's XP buff. All right, here's the hero balance changes. Decker, health regeneration decreased. Proton Disruptor, that's her main attack. Okay, so she got a pretty good nerf. Magical power scaling. Okay, so she does less health regeneration and less damage, but her power scaling is increased, so you can decide whether it's a buff or a nerf. Fang Mao, I saw already, he's getting a buff. His cooldown's getting decreased for his hamstring ability. Gideon, mana cost decreased. Okay, yeah, so they're buffing Gideon a little bit. The power scaling has been increased as well. Mana cost for Void Breach being decreased. The Black Hole. Oh, these are just bug fixes, but the total power scaling increase. Oh, that's not a bug fix. That seems like a buff to me. So I'm reading that wrong, but I think we'll be seeing a lot more people playing Gideon now. You got a pretty good buff there. Howitzer initial damage increase from 30, 50, 70 onward. Make It Rain, that's his ultimate. Yeah, his ultimate didn't need work. I mean, he's kind of broken early on in the game, but later on, he doesn't really do anything, and his ult's really easy to avoid a lot of times. So glad they kind of buffed that a little bit. He really needed it. All right, Kira, projectile speed increase. Okay, that's. I guess they increased it more than just the basic one. Lieutenant Bellica cooldown changed from 16, 15, 14 to. Okay, that's really not that much of a difference, but okay. The Void Bomb increased the damage. Okay, so Bellica got a little bit of a buff. So, yeah, her pick rate's been pretty low too. Narbosh, he got a little bit of a nerf with his healing. Richter, cooldown increased from 8 seconds to 10 seconds on his right shield. I think he was a little bit of in need of a nerf, so that's probably fine, but we'll see how it goes. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be upset about that. He's kind of a popular character. Sparrow, yes. No. Okay, I thought this was going to be a nerf. It's a buff. Her projectile speed went up. Uh, I don't know. It depends. Sparrow is either one of those characters where she's unbeatable and there's nothing you can do to beat her, or she's just trash. And it really depends on who's playing her and what cards and what items that they get. So I don't know. Increasing her projectile speed. We'll see how that goes. Steel, health decreased. Okay, so he's got less health, less regen, or more regen. Less health, more regen. Shield wall cooldown decreased. Now commits its cooldown at the end of the ability. Commits cooldown. Okay. So I think what that means is when he'd use it, the cooldown would already start. But now it won't start until the ability's gone. I think that's what it's saying. All right, Twin Blast, projectile, speed increased. Wow. A lot. Damage decreased. Okay, so they reduced his damage, but made his projectile speed a lot better. And his ultimate damage per bullet decreased. So he got a pretty good nerf right here. Wraith, vision radius increased from 1,000 to 1,200. I'm not exactly sure what his passive is. If you know what it is, that's the buff or nerf there. I don't even know. I'm trying to decide, is that where he goes invisible or is that something that he does? I don't know. I've never played him before. There's a lot of these characters I need to play. Bonus physical power scaling decreased from 85 to 80. Knock knock is alternate. Bonus physical power scaling decreased from 120 to 115. All right, Zinx. The bat increased from 1.2 to 1.25. I mean, that's tiny. Her infused DOT damage decreased. Magical power scaling decreased. Cooldown for her refibrillator. I messed that up. Her ultimate. The cooldowns increased. Okay, that's good because I feel like she uses that all the time. It's kind of like Greystones almost without coming down and doing any damage, and she can use it on other people. Item balance changes. Razorback is getting a nerf. Time flux band. Turntable now additionally refunds 15% of missing mana upon completion. Ashbringer is being buffed. That's pretty good. I stopped using this card, so maybe we'll look at it, see if it's worth going into. Multi-shot projectile speed increased for Onyxian Quiver. Solaris cost decreased from 3,100 to 3,000. Ability haste increased. Spectra got a buff here, or that's actually a nerf. Sorry, that increase threw me off there. So Spectra is getting nerfed. Nightfall getting a slight buff here. Painweaver movement speed added. It's getting a buff. This is an item I use quite a bit actually. Physical penetration decrease. Okay, so they're nerfing this. I mean, I guess that's kind of fair. I mean, I think this is kind of one of those things that not a lot of people know about. This is really good if you're fighting someone heavily armored because it used to make it 30%, so you ignore 30% of their armor as well as adding penetration in general. So it was really good for facing people that were heavily armored. So it probably needed a nerf, but I don't think a lot of people knew about it. Berserker's Axe movement speed increased with that. Interesting. This is a card I didn't know about, but maybe I should have known about it. Looked it up. Because movement speed is actually something really big and not a lot of things offer that. Bonesaw being nerfed. Mutilator being buffed a little bit, just 100 gold cheaper. Salvation being nerfed a little bit. Noxia. Ooh, it got a buff. Not that Noxia is actually pretty powerful. I didn't think it needed to buff at all. Oathkeeper, Celestial Spell Blade damage increase. Overseer. Okay, yeah. This card was one of my favorites, Overseer. They made it cost more and they decreased the magical lifesteal. But if you don't know what this card does, it makes it so your ultimate does 15% more damage. So like on like someone like Morgesh or a Countess, this is really big, and it also gives you that extra 15% damage. It heals you for that much. So Overseer is really good. Soulbinder increased the damage. Spirit of Amir or Emir, I don't know. I hope I said it right the first time. Um, Kind of got a little mix match. Added more health, but it decreased the magical power and penetration. They also added vitality beads, whatever that means. Small decrease to time warp's cost. This is a good one as well. Reduces cooldown speeds a lot. Race leggings. It's getting a buff. Okay, that's good for me. This is something I use a lot on Moragesh. Ella Frost. Frostblade damage reduced. Oh man, that got a huge nerf. This is one I really like on Aurora. Flux Matrix. Health decreased. Magical armor. Okay. So they're trading a little bit of health for armor with the Flux Matrix. These are all three of these are items I use on Aurora. Magical armor increase. Okay, that's good for me. Well, it depends. I say for me, but when I'm playing Aurora, because like if you're facing Aurora, this is obviously not a good thing. Raiment of the Renewal, health decreased. Stonewall, health decrease, but the physical armor went up. I mean, that's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like you have less health, but it also does you take less damage, so it kind of just balances itself out. Tainted Bastion. This is I never really played tanks, so this is something I don't ever use, but it looks like it's getting a little bit of a nerf. Or actually, it's not. It's kind of that balance thing again. Unbroken Will. Wow, they dropped the cost by 50 gold. Wow. Health decreased, magical armor increased. So it seems like they're raising the armor of a lot of stuff, but then making the health go down a little bit. And right here, they're just saying that they've added the enhanced river buffs to the brawl game mode. And I'm not going to go over all these. Here's all the bug fixes that they had. You can go look through that if you want to. Kind of go slow through it. Pause the video if you want to read those. The one thing I think is really funny, right here, they fixed the issue where you're playing Grux and when your ultimate gets ready, it is Morgesh's voice. But anyways, this video is running way long. This was a huge update. But let me know in the comments if you're excited about this update or worried about it like me. I'm kind of like, I'm in the middle. I'm going to see how it is before I make a decision. But a lot of this, I feel like it's a lot all at one time. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more like this. And thank you guys for making it this far if you did. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.